Hey everyone, this is Retro Gamer Ranting. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fine. Forgive the different lighting I have right now. I'm doing a quick pickups video, so I figured I'd put up some lamps so you guys could actually see the games I'm holding up than usual. So that is why I'm blind right now, and my eyes are really blue. But yeah, I don't have any professional lights or anything, so it's just lamps to each side of me, and for some odd reason it's giving me a shadow over here and it's really bright over here, so just, you know, ignore that. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and figure out something better right now. It's been a crazy last 2 weeks. About a little over 2 weeks ago, my second son was born. Everything's going great with him, and my wife is doing great, and things have just been kind of non-stop since then. Finally have stuff slowing down so I can at least try to get something down. So I figured, hey, I have some games that I've gotten within the last month or so that I've gotten from rummage sales and stuff like that. So I'll do a quick pickups, get myself out there, let you guys know I'm alive and things are going well. So let's do that, shall we? Most of these I think I got from rummage sales, which is actually good because last year I didn't find a lot of good stuff at rummage sales. This year I'm finding a few things here or there. And the thing about rummage sales is it's always kind of hit or miss because you kind of play Russian roulette when it comes to things like hardware or any kind of electronics or even like CDs or games, because you just don't know if they're going to work. You just got to take their word for it. Or a lot of times they basically say, we don't know if it works. If you want it, take it. It's $1. So, you know, it's kind of iffy, and that kind of stuff has happened to me before, where I went into a rummage sale and I bought a bunch of video games. I think I bought like 5 video games at a rummage sale once. I think a majority of them for the GameCube and a few for the PS2, and out of 5 of those games that I bought, one of them ended up being salvageable, and I'll get to that here in a minute. This game right here is Mario Kart Wii for the Wii. And I found this at a rummage sale. It was just sitting there. This is not the case it was in. This is one of my cases. But it was sitting in a sleeve. It was sitting in a sleeve of CDs. Like, you could put multiple CDs in there. And it was a cloud-covered day, so I didn't really get a good look at it. And I don't know if you can see the scratches on that. You kind of can, yeah. But, you know, it's a little bit scratched up for some odd reason. I don't know why. And, when I got home and I finally got to look at it again, I was like, oh gosh, this is bad. Oh, good thing I only spent like $1 on it. But, you know, it was Mario Kart Wii, and it's kind of funny because I had this trend back when Mario Kart Wii just was becoming popular. I ended up finding Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube, and so now that the new, like, Mario Kart 8, I think it is becoming popular, I found Mario Kart Wii, and I finally got it for the Wii, as the dog is shaking in the corner, so please forgive that. So anyway, I put it in the Wii thinking, hey, I've had CDs that have looked worse than this that work fine. In fact, I have one that I'm going to be showing you here in a little bit that's going to prove that. I put it in, can't read disc. You know, it pops up, everything pops up, it says, oh, Mario Kart Wii, and then you click on it, it goes, you can't read disc. So I'm going to bring this to a CD cleaning place when I finally get the time to, and hopefully it'll be able to fix it. That's what I did with the Double Dash. And here's where it's weird when it comes to these Mario Kart games that I get from rummage sales. My Double Dash game was one of those games in that 5-pack that didn't work. That was all scratched up. Like, you'd be able to play it and you'd be able to get into a race, but as soon as the race started, it would just lock up. So you wouldn't be able to, and maybe if you were lucky, you could finish a race, but as soon as you got to the end of the race, it would lock up. So that was the one disc out of all the ones that I got before that I was actually able to salvage, and I was able to bring to a CD cleaning person, and they were able to clean it for me. So if any of you guys out there know any homebrew CD cleaning tricks that work really well, I'm willing to do that too. So, you know, just leave a comment down below. So hopefully I can salvage this. Not as mad about it because I didn't pay much for it. You know, last time when I bought a bunch of games for like a bunch of money and only one of them ended up working after I went somewhere to get it cleaned, that kind of makes me mad. But, you know, when you go to rummage sale, you know, you get what you pay for. I think I paid $1 for this, so hey. So hopefully I can get this to win. Speaking of racing games of some kind, oh, I hate this lighting so bad. Burnout 3 for the PS2. Now, I'm a Burnout 2 fan. Me and Mad Dog both are. So Burnout 2, the Burnout series, for those of you who don't know, is a lot about racing and crashing, and mostly crashing. Yeah, there's racing in it, but me and Mad Dog enjoyed the crashing aspects of it. And Burnout 2 on the GameCube is by far our favorite, one of our favorite racing games, I think. Just because you can pick a mode where it sets you in scenarios and you're supposed to crash your vehicle into these scenarios and try to cause a bunch of chaos and get the highest score and stuff like that. And this is Burnout 3. This came out after it. Unfortunately, there was no Burnout 3 for the GameCube, and so every substantial game that came out of the Burnout series after 2 always went on the PS2. And so Mad Dog would always get it, but I was a GameCube guy, so I never got it until now that I have a PS2. So I got this just for nostalgia reasons, because me and him played a lot of Burnout back in the day. Not so much Burnout 3, mostly Burnout 2, but this one is still pretty fun. A couple of added mechanics to it that wasn't in number 2, but definitely better than all the games that came out after this, because it just went downhill after Burnout 3. So if you see this, grab it, but if you see Burnout 2 instead, answer the phone. Sorry about that. So yes, get Burnout 2 for the GameCube if you can, but if you do find Burnout 3, it's not a bad game. I would just suggest playing the Burnout 2 version on the GameCube first, mostly because there's more tracks. There is a Burnout 2 on the PS2 version, but there's more tracks on the GameCube version, I think. So yeah, that's pretty fun little find for that case. Next up, found this not too long ago. I think it was at a rummage sale the other day, actually. And Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on the Nintendo... Wow, I'm pointing in the wrong direction, clearly. Nintendo DS. You know, did you know there was a Grand Theft Auto on the Nintendo DS? Well, this is it. Didn't do very well at all. In fact, I think they re-released it on the PSP after that, which... Again, it's like no one frickin' owned a PSP, so I'm sure it didn't do as well, but hopefully they made their money back. I remember, I think I had the magazine over there. If I would have been thinking, I would have grabbed it. I remember getting a Nintendo Power that was promoting the heck out of this. They had at least a 2 or 3 page spread on this about how Grand Theft Auto was coming through to the DS. See, if the lighting stayed like this, I'd be happy. But then once I move that away, it's like my face lights up. Anyway, but yeah, so I've tried this a while ago, for briefly, somewhere, I don't even remember. And it's very interesting. It's back to the old top-down perspective of the classic Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 days. And, you know, it's in Liberty City, brand new story, you know, got really good reviews from what I remember. And I just figured I'd try it out. I didn't own a DS at the time. I was actually really psyched about this when I saw it in Nintendo Power. And I didn't own a DS for some odd reason. I own a 3DS now, so I can play it. But and I was really hoping it would do well, because I was still in my Nintendo fanboy phase where I'm like, oh, if this does well, then maybe they'll make like a Grand Theft Auto for the Wii or something. The only thing I think the Wii had that was close to being like Grand Theft Auto was Scarface, and that like came out and it was just a port of the PS2 version. But yeah, and this is what makes me wonder. Like, this isn't exactly, it's not terribly old. 2009, I guess. It's not terribly old, but I'm just thinking like if they re-released this on the 3DS with there's not HD on the 3DS, but with the updated graphics and stuff like that, maybe put it in a third-person view instead of the top-down view. Because I know I'm not a huge fan of the top-down view of the Grand Theft Auto series. If it would do any better. I don't know. I doubt they will. I don't think Rockstar has much faith in putting their games on a Nintendo system anymore, especially after this bomb. So, but it's good to find. Hopefully I'll get a chance to play through it. I know Grand Theft Auto games take a while, but I heard it got some great reviews. It just didn't sell very well. So hopefully, you know, I'll get a chance to give it a try. I was kind of excited to find this, you know. Moving on, last but not least, Namco Museum Volume 1. Now, going through life, you have experiences, and there are certain things that happen during these experiences, or maybe emotions, or people you know, or just stuff that you attach to a physical or an emotional reaction to. You know, anything. It could be an object, it could be a sound, it could be a song, you know, like, something like that. Or it doesn't even have to be favorite. Just like, oh, you hear a song, you think about, oh, I was at camp that day, and me and some buddies were playing volleyball at the beach, you know, something like that. You know, and the same thing holds true with video games, and this is, you know, this might seem like just a simple, like, oh, it's Namco Museum Volume 1, has Pac-Man, Galaga, Pole Position, Rally X, etc., etc. There's a virtual museum you can actually walk in, a very badly pixeled 3D museum you can walk around in and get, you know, tips and learn about all these classic arcade games, and of course, play the games. And, you know, so you'd see this, and there's better compilation CDs out there with more games and more stuff in it, I'm sure. But something like this, you know, it gives you an emotional reaction, because I remember playing this game back with an old friend of mine, a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, who had MS and sadly passed away quite a while ago. And in fact, my first son is named after him. His name was Ben. And that's just how much of an impact this guy had on my life. And, you know, because of his illness, he couldn't get around. He was in a wheelchair for most of his life, and he had limited mobility. But he still loved playing video games, and I would go to his house, and we'd sit and play video games all the time. In fact, I actually have his complete Nintendo collection that I guess inherited after he passed away. And But we ended up playing a lot of PS1 because he owned a PS1 and I didn't, and we'd play fighting games and stuff like that. And this is one of the games he actually owned, and we played it a lot. And you know, it was just kind of seeing this, putting this in my PlayStation and playing it. It just brought back all those memories of sitting there and just walking. You know, I think we didn't even really play a lot of games. We just sort of walked through the little virtual Namco museum, and we, you know, just walked through it and read all the little tips and tidbits and just explored it and talked, and you know, and there were other games I played with him, but it was just one of those really real moments, because you know, this isn't a well-known game. It's not. It's, you know, it's I don't know if it's a rare game or nothing like that, but it's not something people talk about. So this game kind of reserved itself in my memory bank. Says, hey, while playing this, you were with your best friend, you know, and that means, you know, it's great when you can find something that brings up happy memories, good memories, and video games can do that, songs can do that, whatever it is, and that's kind of what this does. And it's just a compilation CD, you know, there's 7 games on it, and it's just classic arcade games. People just be like, it's not even a good compilation CD, whatever, but it had the memories to it, and I was happy to find this, and I grabbed it, and it brought those memories back to me, and while I was playing it, it did, and it always feels good to be able to find that, you know. And so that's kind of what this means to me. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know if anyone else, you know, if certain games remind you of certain moments, you know, just like I was talking about with Burnout 2 and Burnout 3, you know. Anytime I play Burnout, I think about the times me and Mad Dog play it, you know, like, we bonded over that game, and so Burnout 2 kind of has that memory with me and my brother-in-law, as, you know, this game, like Namco Museum Volume 1 has with Ben, and just those special memories with him. And so it's great to find that. And so, do I recommend it? I don't know. If you like compilation CDs, definitely. But, and to get back to my point earlier, as it all comes back around, I don't know if you can see this or not. It's a black on right there. You see, there's some scratches in that. Kind of about similar to the Wii one, right? Works fine. Don't have to worry about it. Works perfectly fine. You see that Mario Kart Wii? This one works fine. I don't know. Maybe Wii CDs are more temperamental. So there you go, folks. Those are some quick pickups for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to have more down the road now that things are slowing down, hopefully. You know, being a new father again, you never know what's going to happen. But again, forgive the lighting. I was just trying to do something so you guys could see the cases a little more. But anyway, hey, if you have any tips on some lighting as well, leave that down below. Aside from getting a professional lighting set, well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get that anytime soon. But anyway, thanks a lot, everyone. Please share this with your friends. If you liked it, enjoyed it, put a like down in the corner. Leave a comment down below talking about what you liked about it, or some of your favorite video game memories, or games that just bring out a strong memory to you, a good memory to you, something that reminds you about times with your friends, or family, or just chilling and just having a good time. But as always, folks, till next time, game fans, keep playing, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.